We've come all the way around this eye without breaking the knife, so I think that tells us what happened this morning then was me, you know. The first time it broke, I was careless. And then the second time, it's because I used too much pressure while sharpening it to try and cut quickly. And that stressed the steel, so it seems like we're okay. So, Sumi. Let me finish this couple of hairs. Hang on a sec. Hairs. These are feathers. Not quite sure what happens there. We have a question. Back, have is it gone down? It's the circle of loading zoom. What's going on here? It says up for 35 minutes, dropped frames 0. I have no idea. There was a question. Let's have a look at the question box. Switch questions. 1. Excuse me a moment here. Major buffering and it's going down. Ay, 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 ay. Not sure what else I can do about it. Okay, sorry. I'm showing at the moment only a very few. It's 0.2% dropped frames. When I started, let's hang on and see what's going to happen then. I'm showing green. My broadcasting software is showing green and safe. I'm not quite sure if I believe it. Anyway, I'll keep up here. Wrong way. This wood doesn't want to cooperate either way around.終わった。今の紙何？妖怪の？ごめん。来月の？私の妖怪16番の？
それと菅さんの妖怪とあそこの恋かな、はがき版の
恋。あ、そうか、菅さんのための。Okay、はい。じゃあ私のもの
もありますよ。
OK, good. じゃあ明日からできるか。
ちょっとローラー変えたから、ちょっと問題が少しあった。ちょっとね、滑りやすかったりとか。
じゃあそのローラーが回らなかったです。
まあ、小さい紙だったらやっぱり横が引っかかるからね、回らないっていうのがあるんで、それは今度からその幅ごとのローラーを用意してやろうかなと思ってます。で、大きいのはまあ滑るんだけど、最初こっち側の取り付けるスペーサーっていうかがちょっときつすぎて回らなかったんですよ。それで途中で調整して回るようにはなりました。だからまああれでもできるんだけど。
じゃあ回らなかった紙がそのままスリップしたんですか？
裏側はスリップ、表側は回ってます。裏側のストッパーがちょっときつすぎたから、裏はスリップしたけど、表は回って最後まで。
じゃあローラーが曲がりにくいと表面が滑りやすい、そのコンビネーションで。
あとはちょっと気温が下がってきたからローラーにポタッと粒がついてたらそれが紙についちゃうでしょ。それをちょっとこれからもっと寒くなるとそういうこと増えてくるから、何か考えないといけないから。
で前のものが良かったか。
その温度ですぐ固まってしまうものは前のものでも同じなのかなと思うけど、ローラーの滑りに関しては前の方が良かったです。何が違うかっていうと太さが違うんですよ。
薄いでしょうか、小さい。
だからちょっと今回ちょっと調整したらそれが強かった。
そうだから見たとも考えて小さくなると本当に使いにくいかな。もしこのようなものがあるともうちょっと使いやすい形が。さっきのものはちょうどよかった。
でもこれが大きくなると
いろんな問題もちろん。
またこれもやりながら、よくできる。じゃあまた金曜日上でまた。
OK、でしょ。はい、Thank you。Say good night。
これまた入れておいてください。
OK、はい、Thank you。Excuse me, sorry for the digression. There's a bit of a curve just on the bottom of this eye. I didn't follow that old rule. You're supposed to save the eyes for the very end. Bring it to life. It's against the grain. It doesn't want to go either way. Trouble. Cut in this way. do the other one. I haven't been watching questions and stuff, you know. Is the stream more stable? Ah, somebody's listening. So the sizing rollers are not working well. It's not the small paper size, you're close. What we're doing is the new sizing roller, the new kind of sponge, is a smaller dimension roller than before. So the paper is slipping with it. The rollers have less place to grip the paper. And the paper has been slipping up through the roller. One of them, he's got a drive roller and a trail roller? What do you call it? I don't know. The paper's slipping up between them. And I don't like that new rubber stuff he got. It's too slippery, but we'll see how it goes. That batch of paper he did tonight, it's of course going into the system tomorrow, and I myself actually, I don't know what I've updated on the stream here. We're in such tight trouble for printers that, you know, the two girls who did the yokai prints have been doing the yokai prints during the year. Had real trouble with the invisible yokai print. There's a guy, a businessman with an umbrella, whatever, running through the rain. And they had real trouble with that. There was many, spoiled copies. So we had enough to send to the new subscribers, but now people running through the system as back issue subscribers are catching up to that one. It turns out that for October they're short about, 20 or some copies. I'm not sure exactly. So the shipping ladies have called for me, David, do something, get more copies of that one back into play real quick, real soon. And everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. So it's going to come to my desk, like I have nothing else to do, but it's coming to my desk. So the paper is prepared. Sizing was done tonight. That paper will be ready for me tomorrow. But I've got to get this out of the way first. So this is my first priority, get this owl done, key block carved, color blocks carved. Then once that's done, I've got to take a day or two, a day maybe is what it'll take, to do that printing on that yokai. She says she's going to give me 40 sheets of paper for it. And the girls upstairs are waiting, they're smiling. They both kind of screwed it up. Or screwed up many of their copies, and they're waiting for me to step in and show them how it's done. A little detail, like I haven't done steady printing now for the 3 years since we opened the shop, so whatever. I want to go the other way around. Let's go the other way here. Let's start halfway through here. So sometime, it'll be, what's today? Today's Wednesday. I don't have any idea what day it'll be. Sometime later this week or on the weekend. A couple of my streams here won't be carving streams, they'll be printing streams. I'll do that upstairs. And the jobs are now stacking up pretty high on the desk. You know, I've got to do the color separations for that boss fight. There's something else, I guess I'll be finding out later tonight when I do the bookkeeping tonight, after I'm all done with this, punch in the day's stuff. And I'm not sure because I haven't seen how the shop was busy today. I wasn't here this morning. But if the shop was a normal busy day, then today might have reached a bit of a goal, milestone for us. We've seen it for the last few days. It's getting closer and closer. And if the shop was normal today, then sometime during the day's business, we will have reached the same level of revenue, the same level of business that we did last year. And that was, when I say last year, I mean, to December the 31st. And today is September the 20-something. And it seems like we've reached last year's level right now. And that sounds like kind of good news, but actually, I'm an optimist. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to complain, but there's a very bad news component to this. I don't know, you've heard me talk before about the YouTube change that happened this year on June 26th, sometime in the afternoon, Japanese time. YouTube changed one of their algorithms and decided to really do something for us. It's not specific for us, of course, just something in the algorithm changed. We went from having 200 views a day on average of our videos, and it skyrocketed for a couple of months to 20,000 a day, and it has now scaled back down to somewhere around 10,000 per day of our videos. And we don't really know why, but it's driven a ton of business our way. The online shop has gone crazy. The shop itself, there's more and more people coming up the stairs. Saw you on YouTube. Great. And the reason why this is a problem is that for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, I guess, pretty much, since we got the shop established, the ratio between the number of prints that leave the place and the number of prints that we make has been fairly stable. You know what I mean? I know we don't make the same prints that we sell on any given day. Of course, people are buying from the stock, but we have to be replenishing things at basically the same rate or more, or we run out of stuff. And since YouTube hit us, it's been nearly 3-to-1. Prints leaving the building and prints getting made. And it's two things. It's the YouTube sales thing, and it's, of course, Ayumi-san's now gone. One of our most productive printers. So it's a double punch, as it were. So the sales figures look great. Their prints are flying out of the shop. The two packing ladies are busy. Things are going really well. But it's like sort of, what's the expression? Selling your capital, or, giving away your capital. There's no way we can sell them 3 times the rate we make them without hitting a big brick wall. And I don't know when it's going to come. I don't have that kind of big data here. But it's coming. So that's the problem. We have a ton of sales. Cash is actually building up because of this. We're getting money in from the prints going out, but we're not spending it on people like Ayumi-san. And that's another problem, because if that's still sitting there at the end of the year, then my tax bill is going to go sky high. It's all a wonderful problem to have. People love our stuff. They want to get it. It's a wonderful problem to have, but not to pry into your business too much, do you normally do this time each day before streaming? I'm not quite sure the question. Do you normally do? What do I normally do? I'm not quite asking. I'm not quite sure the question is. What do I do each day? I mean, most of my work is manager type stuff. There's 18, 19 employees here, which means there's all never-ending a list of stuff to try and do to make sure they're in their jobs, the printers have work coming up, the paper orders are placed, the blocks are ready for the printing job that's due to start next Tuesday, and all that sort of stuff. General managing type stuff. I'm in front of the computer for half the day. I'm the only really well-versed English person here, so all the correspondence, every order gets answered by me, every email, every print party reservation gets my answer. The other girls can speak English to do a party, but they can't do correspondence. So I'm the face of the company on the net, and that takes a bunch of time every day. I'll be on it tonight until I go to bed, Then there's the programming work to keep the bookkeeping system up and running and evolve it. And it's firefighting, just every day firefighting. It's an admission of how much I'm a bad manager. I can't argue about that. We've grown into this situation. If I was applying for this job here to be manager of this place, I wouldn't get the job. I wouldn't deserve to get the job. I'm not a good organizer, manager of my own time, let alone everybody else's time. So although I was really efficient and stupendously efficient at what I was doing 5, 6, 7 years ago, carving and printing and doing that thing by myself, I have become less and less and less and less efficient as this place has grown. So this change now to another person who is going to quote unquote manage this place is long overdue and dearly needed. What other jobs do I do? There's just no end to them. I've got a meeting tomorrow with a young man who's supplying us with, used prints. Is that the expression? Used prints? You know, we have a selection in our shop now, the flea market, which is becoming a very important part of our business. And we don't have a license to deal in old prints as far as participating in the dealer auctions here. It's a very kind of a closed system, very, very much a closed system. I mean, nobody can walk into the Tsukiji fish market and participate in the auctions there. And it's a bit the same in any field in Japan. So we work together with a young man who does have that license. I've got a meeting with him tomorrow to see if I can, we've got experience now the last year. We've been running the flea market. We're getting a much better idea of what our clientele wants and what we need to have here. So I'm going to have him do a much more refined level of search for the kind of prints we need. So he and I will be meeting tomorrow afternoon about that. And he wants me to try a new thing here. He wants us to start carrying, in addition to the old prints in the flea market, he wants me to start carrying old books. We're talking about novels and stuff from, say, the 1850s, Kunisada's day, stuff like that. And these novels are really, really cool. I love them. I can't read them, but I'm talking about it from a print point of view. But I'm not so sure if it fits our clientele. We're not a print shop in the sense of the people who come here are collectors, looking for collector's items. The people who visit our place really are they're looking for decorative items for their home. And these old books are not something you can hang on the wall and stuff. They're things that people would, collect as antique objects. I'm going to do maybe that'll be the next David's Choice video. I'm going to grab a couple of these and show how much fun they are. Yeah, I've got time for that. Has the stream settled down? Seems to be. I'm getting 0 on drop frames now. Stream is solid. Good. Thank you. I'm set for a while. There's no reason to rush out of here soon. Everybody's gone. This morning's stream was really scrappy. The breaking knife and the sharpening and So the blade, the blade's looking okay. So it looks like this morning it was pretty much, you know, as we could expect, it was me. I screwed up the first one with no concentration, and then the second break this morning pretty much was probably because I stressed it. I pushed down too hard when I was sharpening it, is my current best guess on this. Because it's been okay tonight. I've been really careful, but it's been okay. Having said that, who knows what's going to happen next. Now I left this little corner because I can't really see what's going on here. But I made a copy earlier today. Where am I? This is his right eye, right up to the beak. Right eye to the beak. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and then it comes down from the top, 4, 5. Okay, I get it. I get it. That's a bit too thick, but we can take care of that at test time. Let's get this out of the way. Hi. Okay, what's this one again? Remind me. That's from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a whale shape on the top with a flat bottom. I think that's a bit too thin, but I don't know. What's done is done. Bit formless, do whatever I want with it. Just try and make a shape that looks like something. Okay. All these little feathers, you know, they're all going to get touched up a little bit. Well, not all of them. I mean, we're going to have a look at them once test proofing starts, and the ones that have a funny shape will get touched up. Now, this morning I left this because I wasn't sure what it is. Between his ears, it looks like some sort of a tuft. Do owls have a tuft between their eyes? So I got the original back out here, and I still don't know. It looks like a feather, a feather, a feather. Or is it some kind of actual tuft? don't know. It could be a clump of pigment from printing, or it could have been carved that way. I have no idea. I think what I'm going to do is, because I don't know, and the price of disaster is kind of high, I'm just going to cut what I see here. And then at test time, have another look at it. So I think what I might be actually carving here is a black lump of pigment that blobbed on when it was printed. But if that's the case, we'll just take it out later. It's no problem. I really don't know. I can't see what it is here. So we're going to take the safe, easy course here. Just copy exactly what I see without really understanding what it is. It's also somewhere around here that there's a bit of steel left over from this morning's breakage. Anybody remember where it is? I think it's perhaps in here somewhere, so I'm not going to poke around in any of those little valleys. Okay. This is safe, doesn't matter. Bingo. Okay, moving right along. This was too dark for me to understand what it was this morning, but I've got a copy now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hair, 5 feathers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got it. Shoo. Yeah, those lines in the back, the background, it'll read nothing. That was poor printing, streaky printing. We'll be printing it kind of cleanly and neatly. It's our house style, you know. Clean, neat, smooth printing. As I mentioned today, we're probably not going to do a deep, rich, dark background. We'll put the background dark enough so that the moon shows. But I want a lighter touch to this, something lighter rather than a heavy-handed approach to it. It's kind of a small-scale thing. The print will be 11 by 15 centimeters. It's like almost like 4 by 6 in inches. Not quite, but close. Japanese postcard size. And we don't want it too heavy. Okay, next just take this zone by zone here. You can see actually too what the printer did here. It really was careless printing, you know, and not to be insulting to the guy, but you get an area like this, and you think about the way that, can I zoom out? What's the best way to do this? Imagine we were printing this, you know, there's ink on this thing. You're printing with the tool, and this is all carved away around the outside. It's all carved away, so you're printing, you know, the owl plus the rest. And if you're doing it really well, you focus the pressure in the center of an area like this, and you get a good even tone all over the place. If you're careless or just banging it, you end up banging on the outside of an area like this. It's difficult to apply the pressure to the center, but it's real easy to hit the edge. And that's what he's done. It's a very light touch on the middle here, and all the outside lines of this circle are pressed too hard with the printing tool. So it's my job now to look at them and think, what am I doing? Because they've all been broadened a little bit. They're all fatter. There's pigment splashes in between the ones that are cut close together. So I've got to figure out how much is real and how much is bad printing. And I faced this for the Great Wave, and I spent months tracing and going over every dot, trying to figure out where the real shape was. Now for this print, there's no way I'm doing that level of in-depth digging on this. It's just not worth it. I don't toss that off as a facetious thing, but no, this is a small gift print. And it doesn't matter, you know. These feathers I'm carving right now, if they're a smidgen too fat or a smidgen too thin, it's going to be okay. But a project like that wave, I really wanted to get every line and every dot into some semblance of good shape and good taste, you know. The octopus too, we did the same thing with the octopus. I spent a long time tracing it, weeks tracing it. You saw me carving it last week, but before that I traced every dot and line of that thing from an original copy. And this print's not going through that process. I'm carving it now from a pasted down reproduction of the original. I haven't traced it. That could be thicker there. Did you see that webpage I introduced the other day, the young Japanese boy who was going to be doing both carving and printing, you know? I had a chance to look at his page a bit more. He's doing some test printing for us this week, although he seems to be busy with his own projects according to his Facebook page. And he's got his own Great Wave there. He's done a version of the Great Wave, and I think, unfortunately though, he hasn't copied a very nice original. But whatever. He is yet young. Long way to go. Let's come around the outside here just to define this space here. How common is it to cut out the negative by mistake when you're starting out? Not sure what you mean, cut out the negative. I'm carving away the negatives. I'm leaving the positive, you know, the black lines. And they will be positive in my print as well, so not quite sure the question there. If you mean, do I make mistakes? Do I carve away a line that should have stayed? Yeah, of course I've done that before. But if you've prepared the tracing well, it's not a problem. You know, it's pretty clean and clear what you're doing. You know, I'm leaving the black lines and taking away everything else. So there's usually not so many conceptual problems, you know, making mistakes that way. Yeah, Shimoi-san, you know, if somebody's linked to the page there, I see it. You know, if you go back down his page 3 or 4 posts back, he's got a collection of, I think it's a panel of 5 or 6 photographs showing the progression of colors on his version of the Great Wave. And I don't know, you know, that first of the pictures in that sequence where he just shows the key block lines, he smashed it pretty hard. So I don't know if it's his photographic ability or his printing ability. I don't know. We'll find out in a few days when the job he's doing for me comes back. These are thicker and fatter and mushed. And, I don't know. It's also part of the drawing, remember. There's the curvature of the owl coming into play here, you know. The feathers at the front are just part of the drawing face on. And now we're looking at the curvature of the animal as it moves away from us. So how much of it's carving, how much of it's design, how much of it is bad printing? It's very, very difficult to sort it out here. Have you got his? Oh yeah, somebody's linked to his page. Yeah. Thank you. It's a bit difficult to read some of his English on that page. He's not using a Google Translate, it turns out. He's using his own English. He's doing really quite well at it. He's trying hard. And if you might be able to get that idea. What he's trying to do here that we don't do here, he's trying to do the thing as much as possible with the 100% original materials that were used in the old days. Now, I'm in no way trying to do that for a very, very good reason. This boy, Shimoy-san, he's trying to go back and use the old pigments. And they were for the most part, they were vegetable pigments. I don't mean vegetables in the sense of turnips and carrots, but vegetable in the sense of plants. They were from plant fibers. There'd be a certain like tree root they'd dig up and pound it till it gives up a yellow color or a brown color. There was all kinds of different things. Indigo, of course, from indigo for dyeing. And they're beautiful colors, but there's a reason we don't use them anymore, and that's because they're extremely, for the most part, they're extremely fugitive. When people were using them for dyeing, it's a different story. Dyeing is a chemical process. I don't know the chemistry to be able to explain it well enough to you, but pigments are there, and they're poured with a mordant, and there's a chemical reaction producing a color. And they're much more color fast than what we're doing here. In the terms of using these old vegetable pigments, you're talking about a substance that came out of a tree bark, whatever. It's a little bit yellowy color, and it goes into the paper. You print it, it looks nice, but 3 weeks later it's gone. It's disappeared. It wasn't a chemical reaction. It was just a yellow substance sitting there which faded right away. And his stated goal is to, as much as possible, do research and bring back the original colors and pigments used in the Edo period. And it's an admirable goal. I have no problem with it, but we can't possibly do that here, nor do I want to. The prints just will not survive. They'll look beautiful on the day you make it, and maybe they'll look really nice a week later, and then literally, very soon after that, they will start to fade. So that's his approach to this, which is okay. But, who knows? A few decades of work doing that research, he'll get made into a living national treasure. Maybe he'll be one of the only people who knows or who's discovered and learned those techniques. To go for it. He's a smart boy, actually. So. we're really going to need help here at test printing time to try and see how these feathers lay over each other. I think we'll be okay. My stomach growling too, you know, I have to think about that. Do this corner here, maybe, I guess, maybe, and then, is it time? I don't know. What time is it? It's beer time. Is that for you or for me? Are you? You're talking about me, are you? It's beer time. Have I become that predictable? I don't drink much, you know, you guys. I know I'm really quite light, my body weight. I'm a skinny dude here, and one beer on any given meal is all I can handle. But oh, do I need to make a report about that meal I had the other day? I think I reported to the stream here about the guy, the restaurant around the corner, who had announced they were going to make baked spaghetti. And it was okay. It was actually very, very nice. Whether or not it was leftover spaghetti from their day before, I have no idea. I don't think they do that. They threw it in sort of a casserole dish, put a ton of chopped ham and chopped sausages and mushrooms and stuff, a pile of cheese around it, enough cheese to melt into the side of the bowl, and threw it in the oven. And I can't believe I was in Japan. It was fine. The only thing is I got screwed on the beer. I guess they've got a bunch of beers. It's the same beer. They're selling what they call, I don't know, Suntory Premium Malts. It's a quite popular brand that's on the market here these days. And there was some kind of promotion going on. They had it in I don't remember the exact terms here, but you get the idea. They had it in a glass, and then a larger glass, and then a jockey mug, and then they had something called bronze. What was it called? I can't forget. It was bronze flask or something, and it was like 100 yen extra, and it was above the jockey. The jockey was maybe 550 yen or something, and this was bronze flask or something for 650. And the spaghetti looked really good, so I thought I'd go for that. And it turned out it was some kind of bronze mug, this metal tin thing, way smaller than the next level down. I looked at the waiter after he brought it like, what's this? He just shrugged, you know, I ordered it, so that's what I get. I guess it's some kind of promotion campaign they've got going on now. You can get it in this special Greek era bronze mug or something. I thought I was getting the next level of size up, and it wasn't. It was the next level down. So last time I'll be buying that. Tonight I'm not sure. Just back to something normal. There's a tonkatsu place near here. I haven't been there for a while. I'll just go there, I think. And last week's the bit of TV thing has faded out. We were on TV, what was it, Tuesday night last week. So everywhere I went for the next couple of days, I got the finger and the nod and stuff. But that's faded away now, I think. So I can be anonymous again tonight. Okay, I think we're pretty much going to wrap this up. I've got to get off for my dinner. It's just, I don't know, feathers, feathers, feathers. Okay, the schedule will be, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow, as far as I can see, should be a totally normal stream. A stream in the morning, and a stream, I guess, in the evening. There's obviously a lot of feathers here. Where will I be? Actually, we're going to get close, you know. If the stream tomorrow morning is good, these feathers will be finished in a few minutes. I'll move on to the tree. It is not beyond possibility that I could be finished that tomorrow morning. Not sure. We'll see. Maybe I should work slowly so that there's something to do in the evening. Anyway, there will be a stream. There will be a stream. Tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening. Owl-based or something else based, I don't know. Will it go in and stay in focus? Let's see how far it'll go. Looking good, hey, looking good. Okay, so there we are. It's 7 o'clock Wednesday night. I'll be here tomorrow morning on something, on this job. Tomorrow night, maybe on this job or on something else. As far as I can see, the streaming should be on a steady schedule the next few days. A Friday night stream might be a sizing stream. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to do the poem. I'm going to leave it off. We talked about this yesterday. I'm going to leave off the poem and I'm going to leave off the signature at the bottom. We're just going to do it as a very bare, clean and clear print. All right, thank you again for watching. I'm going to have a read through and see what you guys were up to while I was doing this. Thanks for watching again. I'll be back here tomorrow. Thank you. Unclips mic. Hangs it on the wall. I keep getting jokes about people waiting for a hot mic. Disaster. Don't think there'll be one. Good night.